Aston Martin's new power unit is shaking up the F1 world just days before the season kicks off, and excitement is at an all-time high. This year's championship is expected to be one of the most competitive in recent memory. While some teams are clear favorites, the unpredictability of the grid means that surprises could be in store. Aston Martin, in particular, is a team that many are watching closely. They've been building up momentum, and with the AMR 25, they're hoping to take another step forward. The team exudes confidence as they head into the new season, believing they have what it takes to challenge the top teams. With this being the final season under the current regulations, the competition is tighter than ever. There's very little separating the teams, which makes for an incredibly exciting battle. However, despite the close field, one team seems to have a slight advantage: McLaren. Last season, McLaren shocked everyone by winning the Constructors' Championship, marking a major turnaround for the team. Now, they're aiming to solidify themselves as one of the dominant forces in Formula One. If they can build on their momentum, this could be one of their strongest seasons in recent history. But of course, there are other serious contenders in the mix as well. Ferrari is another team that cannot be overlooked. The Italian squad has already demonstrated that they have a competitive car capable of fighting at the front. With the addition of Lewis Hamilton, Ferrari has become an even bigger threat this season. The seven-time world champion brings invaluable experience and a winning mentality that could prove to be the difference in their championship aspirations. The big question, however, is how Hamilton will coexist with Charles Leclerc. The young Monegasque driver has made it clear that he's hungry for a title, and he won't back down easily. The dynamic between the two will be one of the key storylines to follow throughout the season. Mercedes, on the other hand, enters the season with more question marks than usual. The team that once dominated Formula One has struggled in recent years, and after a rather low-key preseason, doubts remain. However, underestimating Mercedes would be a mistake. With Hamilton's departure, George Russell is now expected to step up and lead the team. If he can rise to the challenge, Mercedes could very well find themselves back in contention. The team has had a history of bouncing back, and if their car proves to be competitive, they could be a serious force once again. One of the biggest mysteries heading into the season is Red Bull. After years of dominance, the reigning champions suddenly seem to be facing some challenges. Their pre-season testing didn't go as smoothly as they would have liked, and their rivals are sensing an opportunity. However, no one is writing them off just yet. With Max Verstappen behind the wheel, Red Bull remains a formidable opponent. The Dutchman has shown time and time again that he can extract the maximum performance from any car, and if the team can solve their early issues, they'll be back in the fight sooner rather than later. Meanwhile, Aston Martin is looking to reclaim lost ground. Last season, they showed flashes of brilliance, but ultimately struggled to maintain consistency. Despite some ups and downs during preseason testing in Bahrain, both the team and Fernando Alonso have expressed optimism about the AMR 25's performance. The Spanish driver, known for his relentless determination, has admitted that the team has taken a step forward. He believes that with the right upgrades and strategic decisions throughout the season, Aston Martin could challenge the top teams. While Aston Martin is focused on making the most of this season, they're also preparing for the future. The 2026 regulation changes will mark a significant shift in Formula One, and the team is already working on the AMR 26. Their partnership with Honda is generating a lot of buzz, and rival teams are beginning to take notice. Otmar Szafnauer, a key figure within Aston Martin, has stated that Honda has the potential to develop the best engine on the grid. He acknowledges that there may be some initial challenges, but he's confident that the team will overcome them and ultimately produce a top-tier power unit. Adding even more excitement to Aston Martin's future is the potential arrival of Adrian Newey. The legendary engineer, known for his groundbreaking designs, could be a game-changer for the team. If Newey joins Aston Martin, the AMR 26 could be one of the most feared cars on the grid in 2026. However, until then, the focus remains on what Fernando Alonso and the AMR 25 can achieve this season. Aston Martin's team director, Andy Cowell, has revealed that Adrian Newey wasted no time getting to work. The veteran designer, who boasts an illustrious career with Red Bull, joined Aston Martin ahead of the 2025 season and immediately immersed himself in the team's operations. Unlike many high-profile arrivals, Newey opted to skip any grand introductions. Instead, he went straight to his office, dropped off his belongings, and jumped into a concept meeting. He quickly familiarized himself with the executive team and engaged with engineers, offering insights and fresh perspectives. His hands-on approach has already made a strong impression within the team. Team owner Lawrence Stroll was thrilled to secure such a high-profile figure, calling it the biggest signing since Aston Martin returned to F1. Adrian is the best in the world at what he does. He's at the top of his game, and I'm incredibly proud that he's joining our team, said Stroll. Newey, known for his competitive nature, was immediately intrigued by Aston Martin's facilities, including their state-of-the-art wind tunnel. He quickly recognized the team's ambition and potential. "We are serious about winning, and so is he," added Stroll. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso has already arrived in Australia, but despite his love for Albert Park, he's staying realistic about Aston Martin's chances. The goal for the first race will be to fight for points, which won't be easy. The 2025 season kicks off in Melbourne instead of Bahrain, marking a significant change from recent years. Many eyes will be on Alonso to see what he can achieve with the new Aston Martin, especially after a preseason that didn't leave the best impression. Speaking to the media ahead of the first race, Alonso acknowledged that while he's optimistic about scoring points, he doesn't expect much more than that. The midfield battle is expected to be intense, with Alpine, Williams, and possibly Alfa Romeo all in the mix. Meanwhile, on paper, Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, and Ferrari seem to have the upper hand. We'll basically continue what we started in winter testing. We only had a day and a half, so all teams will still be learning about their cars, said Alonso. Albert Park presents a completely different challenge compared to Bahrain, with long straights and fast corners. Alonso remains hopeful that the AMR 25 will perform better on this type of track. While he's only won once in Melbourne, back in 2006 with Renault, it remains one of his favorite circuits. However, he knows that Aston Martin's main priority will be collecting as many points as possible and building a solid foundation for the season ahead. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest F1 updates.